Hey, Desert Foothills family. Just wanted to give you a quick update on some of the visioning work that our congregation has been doing. Last week, we had a congregation workshop where we met in person, but also offered, televised it on our Desert Foothills Broadcasting Studios.
Yeah, it was live. You could participate online live, or you can watch it later on. So if you right now are sitting at your house saying, visioning, I didn't hear anything about that, or I must have missed that, you can still go online, check out that video, and
I'll put
trust
the link
me,
with this. Yeah,
there's still a lot more to be able to come. So we're just giving you a brief update today.
Right. So the first session we had last week was with Pastor Billy at LCEF, who led us through some exercises to help us discover who we are, who's God called us to be, what has God given us to do, what's our community, the needs around us that our neighbors have, and how has He equipped us to fill specific needs, to be able to focus in on what God wants us to do here in North Scottsdale. So yesterday, there was a vision team that met with each table at that workshop. And so the vision...
So like a representative that was kind of there.
Each table,
yep.
taking notes, writing down people's questions, answers to questions, and met yesterday to distill all of the information. Here is the stack of responses that we got. It's actually fantastic. I'm so appreciative. This is just some of the ones that were in person. Plus, again, some feedback online too. So what are two things that Desert Foothills should do in the next 2 years? And then, who are we in God's eyes, and what does He ask of us?
So those were the two questions that Pastor Billy really, pushed upon the group that was there, and something that Pastor Mark and I would encourage all of you, again, if you were not there, to be able to think about, because we're going to stay on top of these two questions. It's not like we have all the answers and everything's done again. Can you read them just one more time for everybody?
Yeah, so first question was two things that our church should do in the next 2 years. And the real heart of that question is where are the people, who are the people, what are the missions that God is calling us to focus on?
So narrow it down. So talking about, if it was a children's youth ministry, talking about that we need to focus more on outreach or discipleship. So yeah, two things that we could do in the next 2 years.
And then the second question, this is, again, the visioning team is going to meet one more time, probably next week, to really craft this vision statement of who we are in God's eyes and what is God calling us to do. And this will be a guiding statement for everything really going forward. Budgets, ministries, staffing. Does this align with who we are and what God's called us to do, or does it not? And it's real easy to make decisions about, do we do this, that, A, B, C, D, and we just stay focused on, again, who we are and what God's called us to do.
And it seems like such a simple question, right? Who are we? But if you really think about that, you could answer that question in a lot of different ways. But remember, we're trying to respond to that question as, somebody who was a family member of Desert Foothills Lutheran Church. Because you were that family member, who are you in God's eyes? But also for people around us, think about how the world sees that, because we want to be able to share with them not misconceptions or not a falsehood, but really what the truth is. This is who we are in God's eyes and who people around us can be. And so what does that mean, again, for us? Because we are, fill in the blank, this is what that means in our world, or like you said, especially moving forward for our church and everything that we do.
Yeah, and I think one of the greatest things for me to experience in this last week with the congregation and their input, their conversations, has been the unity of thought, if you will, as far as everyone is in agreement that we are God's people, His disciples, His children, and everyone, I'm going to say that again, everyone who's commented has been focused on outreach, reaching the lost, sharing the love of Jesus.
Yeah, and it was amazing at that visioning event that night when we got together, how it was almost eerie how much people were on the same page of looking forward at different things. And doing so, I just have to thank everybody who was there that night. People were so constructive in such a positive manner of, this is our church. We really want to be a part of this. We really want to do this. I think it's so easy in groups to have naysayers, not people asking questions, not people wanting to do due diligence, all that very, very important. But sometimes we do have certain pessimists.
It's a Lutheran thing.
Yeah. But everybody did such a good job of, being organized, really being upbeat and saying this is really important to us and being on the same page. And I think that was exciting for people like, you think this? Oh, that's great, And
I think the same thing.
Yeah.
It was good to have that interaction among the people as well.
So I don't know if do you want to share just a couple of these things on here that
I think we
people
should,
mentioned?
Yeah. Now, remember, this is an update. This isn't our final report, our final vision statement. We're not at the conclusion, but I do want to just keep you updated on the process. So again, we had everybody give input. It was a tremendous representation of the congregation, good cross-section. And then again, the answers to the questions were very much in agreement.
So I'll just bring up just a couple of them that are on here. I kind of had them tallied together to see, some people, maybe just one person said something or two people here and there. But there are some things that were much more heavy in their weight. And so one of those things was really focusing on our children and youth ministry. I've only been here for 2 years now, and I could say that's something I think that's always been a constant and still on the minds of people now.
Yeah, and it's an area for growth. It's a potential.
It is.
Potential.
Another one was actually talking about more community events or being able to do things for the community or with the community. That was rated very, very high, which I think is fantastic because now we're talking about, again, not just us doing something for you and I here, but being able to really go out and be a part of the community, have the community be a part of us. Yep. And that's where that Great Commission really takes hold to another level, not just an internal element. Also, to go right along that, a big one was being able to reach the unsaved and the unchurched was mentioned just over and over and over again. And that was so exciting, I think, at least for as a pastor to be able to hear of people saying, hey, we really need to make this happen. We need to reach the people in our world for Christ. I mean, that is the ultimate Great Commission that the Lord has given to us. And then finally, one of the other elements that came up a whole bunch of times, two things I'll bring up. I think it's on they're both together. One was hiring a permanent director of children's ministry was really going after, and then also expanding the preschool. So I mentioned both those things because that preschool age and then that children's area, again, showing, and this was separate on top of what people just said, hey, the youth are important to us, but being able to say these younger generations, and I like the preschool component that a lot of people brought up too, that is such a key element to our ministry here at Desert Foothills, and to be able to, again, reach out to those families and to be able to partner with them. So those were some of the biggest ones that got mentioned here.
Great things. All right. That will be good enough for today's update. There'll be more information to come. The vision team is going to finish their work in crafting that, distilling all of this, crafting that guiding vision statement for us. And then I'll be with the ministry leaders working on the new 5-year strategic ministry plan, which you'll get to see about mid-November. We'll have it on the voters meeting at the first Sunday in December.
Yep.
So make sure you can make that. And then we'll be off and running, off to the races.
That's right.
That's right. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. God bless you. We'll see you next time.
Sounds good. See ya.